How do you put a price tag on the future? And I don't mean just any future. I mean the future of one of the planet's biggest, most complex business empires. It sounds impossible, right? But believe it or not, people try to do it all the time. Today, we're going to unpack exactly how they even attempt to solve that multi-billion-dollar puzzle.
So our whole investigation kicks off with this one little phrase: net worth estimates for Mukesh Ambani 2025. It looks simple, but it's not just a headline. It's a riddle. I mean, how can anyone even pretend to know a number like that years before it happens?
Exactly. That's the big question. This isn't about gazing into a crystal ball. It's a super complex process of analysis, modeling, and let's be honest, some educated guesswork. So let's break down how it's really done.
To even begin to understand the answer, we have to pull apart the question itself. What are we actually asking when we talk about someone's net worth years down the road? So let me be clear. The goal here isn't to give you some magic number. The real mystery, the thing we're digging into, is the method. What's the machinery behind the scenes that spits out a number like this, and how does it actually work?
First up, let's tackle that term, net worth. We all kind of have a basic idea of what it means, but when you start dealing with fortunes on this scale, the simple definition, well, it pretty much breaks down.
We all know the textbook formula, right? Assets minus liabilities. What you own minus what you owe. It's simple enough when you're talking about your own finances, but that simplicity is really, really deceiving.
Because what happens when you try and apply that simple little formula to a massive, sprawling global conglomerate? Well, that's when simple just goes right out the window. You're left with this breathtaking complexity. The scale isn't just bigger, it's like a whole different ballgame. And here's where you can really see the difference. For most of us, our assets are pretty stable, your house, your car, your savings. But a billionaire's portfolio? Oh man, it's a living, breathing ecosystem of stock prices that change every second, private companies with murky valuations, and huge real estate holdings, all set against this web of complex corporate debt. It's not a snapshot, it's a hurricane.
Okay, so if that's how you figure out the value of things today, how on earth do you project that into the future? This is where the whole process becomes as much an art as it is a science. It's a layered process. Analysts start with what they know for sure, the current value of all the known assets. From there, they build these predictive models for the key industries. Think telecom, green energy. Then they factor in massive global trends. And finally, they have to try and account for the wild cards. The totally unpredictable stuff that can change everything overnight. You can almost picture it like this. The final projection is the result of weighing all these massive, constantly moving variables. How's the stock market going to do? What's the real potential of some brand new, unproven company? How is a shift in the global economy going to ripple through everything? Every single one of those is a huge source of uncertainty. And that is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? What happens when a new technology comes along and completely disrupts an industry, or a global crisis just reshapes the entire market? The most perfectly built model can get thrown into complete chaos. So here's the crucial takeaway. A net worth projection for 2025 isn't a prediction. It's not a fact. It's a probability. It's one possible outcome in this giant spectrum of potential futures, all based on the data we have right this very second.
Okay, so you might be thinking, if these numbers are so shaky, why do we even care? Why do financial news outlets spend so much time and energy trying to come up with them? Well, it's because their impact goes way, way beyond just a headline.
These projections act as these incredibly powerful signals to the market. They influence investor confidence, which then tells a story about the health of huge sectors like energy and tech. This outside view can even push a company to make different strategic decisions. And on the world stage, these numbers kind of become a shorthand for a nation's economic power. So when you see a headline projecting some future fortune, you're not just looking at a number. You're actually seeing a super condensed story about ambition, risk, market forces, and the way people think the global economy is heading. It's a whole narrative, just told in dollars and cents. So I'll just leave you with this thought. We're all fascinated with trying to predict the future value of a fortune. But maybe the real question we should be asking isn't about tomorrow's wealth, but about what its incredible power and influence means for the world all of us are living in today.